Coming up, I'm going to be talking about a Walt Disney Studio showcase at the Destination D23 event. I'll be talking about the success of moving, plus also share my thoughts on Vacation Friends 2. All that and more coming up in today's Disney Plus news. Make sure you go hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news, and let's jump into it. Let's start off talking about the Walt Disney Showcase, which is going to be taking place at the Destination D23 event, which is going to be taking place at the Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World in Florida between the 9th and the 11th of September. So this event is much smaller than the D23 Expo. A lot of people get the two events kind of confused because they're both biannual events and they both kind of go on different years. So the one in Orlando is much smaller. It's done in a hotel. Only a few thousand people can go. But compared to the D23 Expo event, which takes place in California, which was last year, that one is just, nearly probably like 100,000+ people can go to it. They have lots of panels, lots of showcase events and stuff. It's a very different one. It's much more niche over Orlando, and it's generally more themed around Walt Disney World. There's going to be a big presentation on the Saturday morning where we're going to be hearing about things that are going to be coming to the theme parks. This is where a lot of stuff gets announced, like new rides, new attractions, things like that. So as a Disney Parks fan like myself, who loves going to the parks, loves going on the cruises and all the rest of it, I'm really looking forward to kind of finding out some new information. There's always nice stuff that gets revealed at these events, but movies are going to have a part of it. Now, Disney has announced they're going to be live streaming on the Saturday, which is mainly the parks event. Though on that same day in the afternoon, there is going to be a live stream all about the Secret Life of Wales. So if you like that documentary, there'll be something on there. So that's the only thing kind of Disney Plus related on the Saturday, which is going to be live stream. On the Sunday morning, at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, there is going to be a Walt Disney Studio showcase. It's going to be running for about 90 minutes. But it's not going to be live streamed. So they're going to be shown some sneak peeks and stuff. So there's some things that I want to kind of get across here that do not expect lots of announcements. Do not be expecting lots of Marvel shows to be revealed, lots of Star Wars stuff to be revealed. I suspect a lot of these things is going to be things that we already know that are coming out. Some trailers and some sneak peeks for people that are in attendance, little clips and stuff. So they get to see like an early clip of it or something like that. That's what I'm expecting. So things like Wish, the Marvels, I suspect like Loki they'll get to see a little bit. Maybe Elio, maybe even a little tiny bit of maybe Inside Out too if they've got that ready. Maybe even a little bit of Snow White or something like that, or a little bit of Echo. They're going to see something. If there's anything major, I suspect Disney will release the trailer or the clip online. But I am just going to, and it's this kind of thing of me going, please do not get your expectations to the point where you're expecting an Investors Day type of an announcement, when probably we're going to get something, but don't expect a huge amount, because with the actors and the writers' strike still ongoing, that means that no actors can go to the event. So that instantly means not a huge amount of people on stage announcing new shows and stuff. I don't know if you've been sort of paying attention, because I know I have. We've not really had any major announcements from like the US side for a couple of months because of all that's going on. They can't announce new shows and they can't kind of do a lot of stuff. So this whole situation of this event is, I think it's great that they're going to have this showcase and people that are in attendance are going to have something there and they're going to see some really cool stuff. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if there was some stuff there that we would all love to see that they're going to keep just for them. But please just keep your expectations in line of, because I've seen so many people already kind of just getting so carried away with the idea that this is going to be another Investors Day 2020, or because if you think back to even last year's D23 Expo for the panels and stuff, they announced some stuff, but not as much as they've done in the past. Disney kind of announced so much at once years ago, and they're still catching up on it. I think they've learned their mistake of giving away too much too soon. Maybe they announced something like Wonder Man or something like that, but this is not a place where it really makes a lot of sense for them to do it, but there could be something fun. I'm going to be, waiting to report on it, and, I've penciled in when to watch it for me. So if there is anything announced, we can get straight onto it. But just keep that in mind with this presentation. There is also going to be another presentation later on that morning on Sunday about Wish, so expect to find a few bits out, but we're only going to be about 2 months away from that coming out, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so just be aware that keep those expectations in line, and that it's not the D23 Expo. It's a much smaller event. Just so I'd love to know what you guys are hoping to see. I know there's lots of stuff we would all like to see, but let me know what you think of all that in the comments below. He's also announced that the Korean series Moving has been a huge success for the company, because it's actually the most watched Korean original series that has been released on Disney Plus around the world, and on Hulu in the United States. It's also the most watched original in Korea. So this new series is all about kind of superheroes, and it's definitely caught some attention. Now, I do think the show has been able to really kind of maximize how many people watched it for a number of different reasons. First off, obviously being superhero related kind of definitely pulls in some different audiences. But they did something a bit unique with the release schedule, where they released 7 episodes at once, and then they've been releasing 2 episodes every week. So the finale is on September the 20th. So they were kind of able to kind of make the most of a binge format, but also have a weekly drop of people coming in. But yeah, it's been a huge success for Disney, and I think this is really good as well, with the idea of, you know, still seeing some of these big Korean shows coming our way. We might not see as many as we have done in the past, because there's been a lot of them. But as Disney are closing down and sort of doing a lot less on their sort of international originals, the countries that are doing well and are definitely being watched a lot by in other countries will continue. So I think, you know, things like Korean dramas, Japanese anime, and the British shows, things like that kind of reach a much bigger audience. I think that's going to be a thing we see going forward. But yeah, so Moving has been a huge success for Disney Plus. But let me know, have you checked it out yet? It's kind of inspired me to watch it. I kind of want to make sure it's got dubbed. I think it's just in subtitled, which is just means I have to pay a little bit more attention, but definitely going to be checking that one out. But let me know if you have already in the comments below. Okay, let's now move on to talking about Fortnite, because as you would expect with Ahsoka hitting Disney Plus this past week, there is a tie-in with the Fortnite video game. So a brand new season has started today, and a new trailer has been released, and in there at the very end we get to see a very little bit of Ahsoka. So she's going to be a playable skin within the game. No word yet on when that's going to be coming. Might be, I can't imagine it's going to be too far away. I suspect there will be bundles and other things, maybe of some other characters and other, you know, flying things and weapons and stuff. They usually do this in the past. They've done it with other Disney Plus shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett. And I'm going to go in there and buy the character, because I have this huge collection of Fortnite skins. Rarely ever play the game, but every time one of these things, because they get you, because they know that they're going to get you in, because they're only going to put it on sale for a limited time. At the minute I was just looking, there's a load of Marvel characters, and I was like, I could spend hundreds of pounds on just skins. Not really playing it, but I did jump in when they added Bender, and kind of was playing around with that game for a little bit then. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Fortnite, keep a lookout for Ahsoka. That's going to be coming soon to the game. But let me know, do you play it? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. Since it is Friday, the big new release is a 20th Century Studios film, Vacation Friends 2. So that's on Hulu in the US, Star Plus in Latin America, and Disney Plus around the world. I thought this film was fun. I wouldn't say it was as good as the first one. It's okay. I gave it 3 stars. There's a couple of things in this film that I wasn't so keen on. Introducing Steve Buscemi as the dad kind of then got them off on this weird subplot involving drug running and money and stuff, and it just did not fit the kind of the idea of them just having a vacation with their friends, and you know, the chaos that could bring. I just don't think that was really necessary, and they kind of lost there's too many characters in that way, and therefore the couples kind of got a little bit lost, and there wasn't a huge amount of development. John Cena's great in this one, as per usual, you know, definitely the highlight of this one. But it didn't have the same charm that the first one did. And they also had this weird thing, and they brought the manager from the previous film in, and essentially his entire role was that at any given time they could just pass the baby to him, and he'd walk off. And that was basically his entire role, so that at any given time that they needed to do something crazy, they could just pass the kid off. I mean, in some ways it made sense what they were doing, but you could just go, yeah, that's literally a plot device to get rid of the kid constantly. There's a little thing that I personally found a little bit annoying. But overall, I would say if you enjoyed the first one, check it out. If you haven't seen this one, watch the first one. If you enjoyed it, then jump into the second one. I would say, if you haven't seen the two, watch the first one, because that one's, I think, is a little bit better. But great one overall. Also today, a new 4K version of Cinderella was added onto Disney Plus. There was a little bit of iffy bits of whether or not it has been added or not been added on Disney Plus this morning. I suspect it will get fixed later today. But obviously that is the main new one. There's also a new Explorer documentary all about Antarctica that was released on Disney Plus in a number of different countries, including the US, Australia, and here in the UK. Wasn't expecting it in the UK, so that it's one I'm going to be wanting to watch. I like these kind of documentaries, so I'll be checking that one out later. But let me know what you think of all that in the comments below. So today's question's a little bit different because it's actually in relation to a number of ones that came in yesterday. Some people are asking about kind of going back to the old format, which is the one that we have today. So this week I have done a little bit of an experiment with making shorter videos for a number of different stories. Because it's been a little bit light on news, it was getting a little bit like, well, I had a little bit more time to do some experimenting, see how they worked. Some of them did really well, some of them did very badly. And therefore, in like, you know, the swings and roundabouts, this system of doing a daily show seems to work a lot better. I feel a little bit more free to be able to talk about things about what's on, share my thoughts on stuff a little bit easier in this kind of format. Also, and if it's a really short story, I can just kind of pop it in there. We are going to see some shorts, and these are going to be popped out onto other social medias and stuff as well. So you might see a little bit more in the shorts feed of these like shorter stories coming up. Also on Saturdays, we might start seeing some episodes if there's some big news on the Friday rather than waiting till the Monday. I might pop in some extra bonus episodes on Saturday. Not going to be guaranteed for every day. At the minute, but if there is anything, like last week it felt a little bit like I waited a little bit too long for some stories, so I just wanted to kind of bring that up. But yeah, so we're going to be going back to the daily podcast kind of version where I'll be answering your questions and stuff. If you are a YouTube channel member, pop in your questions each day because I'll be pulling them out first if they come in. But yeah, so let me know in your comments, send them all in. If it's a bit quiet on news, I'll do some more comments and stuff. But yeah, generally we're going to be going back to this format because it's just a lot easier on me. I was noticing it was taking me nearly twice as long to kind of do it, but yeah, I was making a lot less. But nevertheless, let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.